and welcome to StoryDev. My name is Luke, also known as Tianery, and welcome back to the Story Creator series. Obviously, since the last video we designed this quests form that you can see right in front of your screen, we completed conditions, requirements, some display information for the user, rewards, and that is pretty much going to be it for the quest side of things. It looks like there's a lot going on here, but it shouldn't be that much in theory. So that's that. What we will go on to next is going to be our places, which is what we mentioned in the previous video. So we are going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to create a new form. We're going to call it places form. And this time around, we are going to design the database form for the places section. So I'm just going to go straight into it and start discussing things. Get rid of the icon because we don't need it, and we are going to set our default size, which is going to be 1330 by 990. That is basically the way it's going. Drag on our trusty list controller once again, and this is going to be our places. Thank you very much. That's what I like to see. Cool. All right, we're gonna have this, and finally our panel, which again is going to be our main content with a padding of 15. Don't forget that. That would be a bad idea. Thank you. Right. So, as with all databases, we're going to have this. We're going to have a name and a keyword. That would be useful. Do you think that would be useful? I think that would be useful. Actually, do we need a keyword for characters? Could use last name? No. First name could technically be considered a keyword, I suppose. Potentially. How many names do you think we'll end up with? Potentially. There might be the same first name, you never know. But we'll go with this. We'll go with this for now, I think. Okay. I think for the characters, we'll actually have the first name and the last name combined in the results here. So we'll have to plan around that. Okay, so going back to places then. So what is places? Why do we have places in the first place? Well, the way that the interactive story is going to work is in order to navigate the world, because it's kind of text-based adventure-y style in a way, we have to navigate the world somehow, and that means trying to navigate to certain places, and this is what this system is about. So, do we have maps? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe that's... I think for the time being, I want to not put maps in place, just for the sake of keeping things simple for the time being. So I'm just going to get rid of this. I'm going to re-add it. Oh, I'm going to... Can you click properly? Thank you. So, let's see. So in places, we've got a description. So a description of the place, that is, obviously. And then we'll get that here. So we'll just do this, the exact same thing here. Save that. That's TXT description, that's already there, as well as that and that. Okay. So we're going to get another one of these. And this time around, what I'm going to do is we're going to have some options here. So when we enter a place, what are we going to be looking at? We're going to be looking at, so imagining we're going into a role-playing game. There's a place. And there's areas within that place, so kind of like regions, let's say. And within those regions, you've got sort of points of attention that takes you to other places or other regions or other whatever, right? So we're going to take that same approach. And what we're going to do is we're going to have, say, an areas section. So we're going to expand this out quite a bit more. And what I'm going to do is over here we've got this sort of layout thing here going on. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it in here. This is going to be our areas. And here we've got index, name, etc. Okay. So in here I'm going to edit the columns. I'm going to say, okay, we've got our name. We don't have a buy price, obviously. There's no such thing as a buy price for an area. We don't buy areas. I'm pretty sure we don't. It's not a sandbox game where you can, buy plots of land and suddenly you can build loads of stuff on it. Maybe. So instead, what we're going to have is within these areas, we'll have points. So we'll probably have, say, a number of points, let's say, the points of attention. And within those points, you might have a series of characters, let's say. Maybe you'll have, in fact, hold on. Do it like this. Number of points. So you'll have, a point that represents a series of characters. Maybe you're at a marketplace or something. And then you'll have another point in an area where you've got a crowd of people talking about something, some commotion that's just happened. And there will be different types of points that do different things. Maybe it actually takes you physically to another place, or maybe the point represents an object that you gather from the floor or something like that. So it'll be stuff like that. So that'll be the way to explore the game, basically, is to do it like that. So we'll click OK on that. I think that's fine. And in order to create these areas, we obviously need to have some kind of menu to do that. There would be an option for that here in vendor options, but I haven't done that yet. But for the time being, we've got this areas section here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in a context menu. And this is going to be called CMS areas, area options. That's going to be a part of this. So context menu, we're going to do that. And inside of this context menu, we've got a few options. We're going to say new. We're going to go then edit and delete. These two are going to be disabled by default, like that. So again, we're not going to be doing any code until a couple of sessions after. We'll probably be looking at meditations as the beginning side of things, because we need to kind of get the meditation section done first before we move on to anything else, because that's kind of like the bread and butter of the game, and the game engine itself, and then we'll move on to other things. So we're just designing the database for the time being, just because it's easy to get the foot off the ground with regards to this video series, and that's the only reason why I'm doing it. So we'll do it like this for now. So in here, in fact, actually, you know what? I'm actually going to create a new folder in here, and I'm going to call it database. And then what I'm going to do is click on all of these forms, and I'm going to drag it into database. That might sound like a good idea, and maybe actually go into the code and just change that just real quick. To apologize for getting a bit ahead of myself, but I kind of need to do this before it gets go crazy. Yeah, something like that. So we'll do it like here, and we'll do it here. We'll view code, database, like that. Oh, yay, code. Unfortunately, it isn't particularly useful. Oh, that's already been changed. Thank you for that. We'll do it here as well. So we'll do this database. And again, we'll go into here and we'll see it automatically do it. Thank you very much. Visual Studio Preview. It's kind of useful sometimes. Sometimes it's useful and then other times it pisses you off. And it's automatically done it. Why? Thank you very much, Visual Studio. You are amazing. Sometimes it's like you're spying on me and knowing exactly what I'm doing. That sounds amazing. Thank you very much. AI. Sounds like a good frickin' idea, Bill Gates. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whatever. It is what it is. I think I've gone mental. Have I gone mental? I think I have. Anyway, so we've got this database here. I'm going to create another folder, and this is going to be places, because we have some forms that we're going to be adding for our places. This is kind of getting a bit hierarchical now, kind of going insane, but this is technically best practice, even though it's kind of a dogmatic best practice. We're going to go with it anyway, because that's just what we do. So let us area. So we'll go with area editor form. That'll do. Sounds good to me. It doesn't need to be like what we were thinking of before. And in this instance, what we're going to do is we're actually going to make this. No, we're not going to make this massively insane. Let's just say. So we need the padding. Let's go with 15, like we normally do. Panel dog top 8. This is going to have a name for dock to the left. Auto size false name, and also make sure that's like that, middle right, so that it can definitely do things correctly. And we'll do the same with this, so I'll just copy and paste this in here. That's just easier. So we've got this area editor here, and what are we doing? Itchy back for some reason, I don't know why. Let's see. So let's see. So inside of our areas, we will have a description. That would be useful. Okay, so I'm going to just literally copy and paste this once again, because we need a description to basically describe the area. Another thing, actually, to be honest, I think we kind of need an ability. Yes, that's a good point. So we'll do it in both these places here. What I'm going to do, because there's another thing too, in that if we enter a place, technically we're entering an area, not a place. So let's see. So if you were to go from one area to another area in another place, then we need to make sure that that option is available. So yeah, okay. So this is going to be unlocked by default. So we'll be able to unlock places. Unlock places. So what that basically means is if a place becomes available to access, then it will be accessible through the interface in the game. Otherwise, if this is not, if the place isn't unlocked, then it won't be available, obviously. So back in here, we'll do the same thing in here. So there might be certain areas that might not be accessible, in which case we need to go back to our objects form and actually make sure that we do that. So we've got, oh, I got rid of the places thing, didn't I? What did I do that for? God damn it. So we'll do places, or place unlock, area unlock, point unlock, because there might be a point in an area that isn't unlocked by default, as you can imagine. So as you can see, this is growing now. So as we grow this, we'll need to have some kind of flag that can adjust the value. So it'll be an integer variable basically determining what options are checked here. So in here then, what we're going to have to do is, so we've got this unlocked by default, unlock defaults, that's what it should be. I don't know why I called it unlock places for. Unlock defaults, so call it unlock default. And if we go back in here, so we need a way to determine whether it's an area that physically exists in this place, or if it's an area that we're technically linking to. So we're going to do this. So we're going to say type, actually, I don't think I need this, actually, thinking about it. I was thinking about this, where when you have a type, you basically choose between whether it's a link or a physical area. But now I'm thinking, maybe maybe the points are edited in that manner. And that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Right. So, in that case, we're going to have something like this, where we have points. And inside of points, we're going to have points, obviously. So, index, name, type. So the type of point that it is. So you might have, as I mentioned before, you might have, say, a point that accesses an object, or a point that takes you to another place, or a point in which contains a crowd of people, or something like that. So let's see here. Type left, okay, width, good. Shall we go with that? I think that's all we need, right? Index, name, type. I think that's pretty much it. And then I'm literally just going to copy and paste this in here. We're going to do it for points as well. So I'm going to say CMS area point options. And now we get, actually, first of all, do this. Another thing I haven't done is actually set. Did I? I don't think I did. Did I? No, I didn't set up the thing properly. High DPI. I didn't set that up properly. I'm being a daft sod. So we'll have a cancel because maybe we cancel our edits. We don't agree with it. And we'll do okay. BTN okay. And we'll go with that. Maybe we'll have our accept button okay, but we're not good. It's not going to be. I don't think I want it dialogue based. Yeah, I don't know. So now we're going to have points form, points editor form. Too many forms. Too many. So points editor, and this is where things happen. So once again, I'm going to get rid of all the things that we don't really need. Make that fixed single. And in here, this is where things actually happen. So again, we have a name unlocked by default. Once again, that padding needs to be 15. Can't do without. And then we're going to have lots of different options. So what I'm going to do is copy, paste. I'm going to delete, actually, no, delete that. I'm going to do that, and then I'm literally just going to dock fill, because I think that's how many rows and columns I want anyway. I believe, potentially, who knows. So we're going to do this. We're going to put that in here, and this is going to dock to the fill. So in here, I'm going to have characters, so any characters that exist. So columns, that's going to be name and move. We might have conditions here as well to say, oh, maybe this character doesn't exist in this point just yet. So we'll call that LV characters. Did I change the name of the other thing? I don't think I did I? That's, yeah, that needs to be LV points. Save that. Save that. Oops, no. What I want to do is this. What are you doing? Hello? I don't understand what's happening here. What is happening? Why is it doing that? It doesn't make sense. Visual Studio is weird sometimes. I don't understand this. What is going on? Is my question. No. Why are you doing that? Okay, I'm going to close this form and reopen it. See if that makes a difference. No. Let's remove row for the time being and do that. Now select this, add row. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Bit fiddly. It's a little fiddly. 7%, 50-50, yeah. Okay, it's working now. Thank you. So, we want characters. We also want objects. So there might be objects at that point. Index name. We might have what else? Meditation points. So the index of a meditation. And point connections. Point connections. And this is going to be slightly different because we're going to say, in this case, we're going to have, not going to have index, we're going to have place, area, point. Might as well just make them all the same size. 110 each. That's 90. 110. Place, area, point. Now, let's see here. For most of them, in fact, what I'm going to do, we're going to have a context menu because obviously we're going to need to say new, right? Oops. Edit and delete. But we're also going to have, so these two are disabled, but we're also going to have another option here, and the separator. So TSS last separator, which is going to be false initially, and we're also going to have inherit points. So what is that? Well, basically what that means is we're going to create point connections to every single point that already exists in the place that we're editing, or the area that we're editing. So that would make it easier, and that would only be visible if we're editing this. And the way we're going to determine that, we will show at the time when we actually do the programming. CMS edit options. Let's call it that. It's going to be rather generic. So we've got characters. Oh, really? Oh, there's our LV characters. Don't want that. That's objects. Characters. LV characters. LV meditation points. LV point connections. So that's how we're going to do it. And then what I'm going to do is, well, I think that's pretty much done, to be honest. The design, at least, anyway. Well, I say that, Still need to edit the actual characters, objects, meditation points, point connections, forms. So we've got this with the points and the points editor here, but we also need to create the actual links because we also need to apply like conditions and stuff to say, oh, will this character exist at this point? Maybe not. Okay. Okay. I'm just having a look at everything else just to see if I'm not missing something. Don't think I am. No. No, I think this is fine. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me. Oh. Yeah, this is fine. So what I was thinking, because I'm trying to imagine in my mind how the sort of points connect to each other. On imagining you've got a map and you've got points that are connecting to different areas and stuff like that. I was considering if it was worth basically putting here some type to basically say to the system or the game engine, look, this point is just a link to another point on another place or area, but that doesn't really need to be the case because we've got point connections that will tell us we want to go to this place, this area, this point. So I think that's the play for this. So maybe. Do I want to unlock points by script from other areas of the editor, or do I want to unlock points via a set of conditions? Because we've got this objects here which says we can unlock a place and unlock an area and unlock a point. Do we want to do basically the exact same thing that we're doing here in this context and basically use this as a form of creating a condition for this context? I don't think anything else in the game, aside from objects or timeline events basically, will unlock points or anything else for that matter. So we don't need to do it like that. We're not going to have conditions. It's not necessary. I don't think. Okay. So I had to think about that for a minute. I had to think. All right. So what we've got here now then is we've got to do character point editor. No. Point character editor maybe. Point character editor form. This is less generic, but at the same time, it's probably the best way to go about it. Do all this again. Okay. So, what we want to do now, so in this points editor, when we right click and say, okay, I want to create a new character or create a new object, etc. We're going to have conditions on whether or not that character exists, or the object exists, or the meditation point exists. So this is where conditions would be more useful in these contexts. So do we need a description for points? Do we need one? I think that's just too many descriptions, I think, potentially. Potentially. What we could do is, in the case of the area, we could actually design a map of the area. That sounds like a good idea, actually. So I'm going to create a button here. And I'm going to do area designer. BTN area designer. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I said I wouldn't do it, but I'm going for it. Might as well. Might as well. Expand that a bit. Ooh. Right. If we go back to here then, we've got padding 15, and finally we have once again where I just thought actually let's where was it? Was it in, yeah, it was in Quest, wasn't it? Because we'll have this sort of same format here. So we are going to go for this kind of a format. We're going to put that in here like that. So we're going to say character. That's going to be txt character followed by browse characters, and we'll use generic functions to apply all this, so don't worry if you think I'm going to be duplicating code. I'm definitely not going to be doing that. That's just too much. It's kind of ridiculous. So let's just reduce that like that. I think that's good. And then finally I'm going to have a button here that will allow us to set conditions. So we'll have a conditions form, btn set conditions, set conditions, and then just like RPG Maker style, where you won't be able to do any code. We hate coders. We don't like them. RPG Maker is not like that. I'm not trying to say anything about the RPG Maker community. They're alright. They're fine. They're happy in their own little corner of the universe. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. Okay, like that. Okay. And do we really need to do this multiple times? I mean, not really. I could make this form generic, aside from the actual point connections editor. Yeah, I've done that. Points. No. I don't want to delete it. Jesus. Rename. Point data editor. Yes. Rename to all sources in the code. Thank you. So we'll do it like this. That needs to have a name as well now. LBL data name. Something like that. Okay. We're going to have to use reflection, and it might be a bit slow, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Okay. So we've got that. Finally, if we go back here, we've got this point connection, so we're going to add that. So, point connections, editor form, and literally all we're going to do is have 3 options. One for the point, one for the area, one for the place. Remove all the options once again, like that. Let's see, adding 15, as we have been doing. And if we go back to our point data editor form thing, I'm going to copy this 3 times. Believe it or not, I'm actually going to do that. And then I'm going to call this place, followed by area. You see that coming? Followed by area. And then we're going to have, you guessed it, a character. No, actually a point. Did I get you there? Whatever. Okay. Okay. And that is kind of it, to be honest. That is kind of it. I mean, that is all we're going to be doing for the design of the places section, because at the end of the day, there's not much else to go by. These need to be edited to actually say what they represent. What? Regardless, we got BTN browse place, BTN browse area, BTN browse point, and this is going to be a TXT area. TXT. We like our TXT. We like our TXT files. They are really good. Don't know why, but they are. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. That's right. You heard me. Very simple. Alright. Okay. I've clearly gone frickin' mental, and I think it's about time I stopped. Thank you for watching. This has been a video about designing the points form for our game. We are going for an area designer, potentially. Still not sure about this yet, but I think, to be honest, the reason why I think this would be useful is because we're kind of making the player guess where they're supposed to go without at least having some visual cue as to where they are. So, probably a good idea to have that in place. So, like I say, once again, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Now I'll see you next time.